you, John. We're going to move on to Bryan. So, hi, Bryan. Bryan Goldsmith is the co-founder of FindParts.aero. FindParts.aero is aircraft parts workspace, changing the way where aircraft parts are bought and sold. Go ahead, Bryan. Stage is yours.
Yeah, Omran, I'm going to go ahead and get started. I believe my screen is shared properly and my mic is, but if when I get started anything's wrong, just go ahead and cut me off and I can start over. So the screen is shared, correct?
Yeah, all good. Go ahead, start.
Okay, 800 commercial aircraft retire each year. That's nearly 3 aircraft per day that are decommissioned and parted out. This is before COVID permanently grounded thousands of additional aircraft. So $100 billion is spent each year on maintenance, repair, and overhaul of commercial aircraft. There comes a time in an aircraft's life when parting out the aircraft is financially more valuable than operating the aged operational aircraft. Now, the parts removed from the aircraft are recertified and sold on the $40 billion aircraft spare parts aftermarket. This right here is where the industry problem of non-existent inventory begins. So as a former aircraft parts broker, I've generated $8 million as a parts broker listing non-existent inventory. I was not alone. Brokers are costing airlines billions, an average of $22,000 per day per airline in inflated cost. Enter FindParts.aero, a managed marketplace where inventory is real and buyers and sellers interact with a clear and measurable mutual value. Buyers access value created on the platform and capture value on competing sites using APIs and affiliate marketing. Sellers can list for free at FindParts.aero or simply have FindParts.aero traffic referred to their existing e-commerce sites. Now, there are competitors, and the legacy marketplaces have membership pricing, which limits buyer-seller participation, which then limits critical mass. And the really poor thing about the legacy marketplaces is they have millions and millions of non-existent part listings, which waste time, waste money, and ruin expectations. While ePlane and SkySelect, the newer marketplaces, raised $19 million this year in Series A funding, we've seen trends that charging a transaction fee is a key failure indicator of the new marketplaces. So our hypothesis for greater critical mass is not threatened by competitors, and here's why. Searches on FindParts.aero include results from outside platforms like eBay, online pilot supply stores, and existing aviation parts e-commerce sites. We undermine existing fragmented marketplaces by actually referring users to e-commerce sites or suppliers with the highest merit for each specific spare part requirement. Our matching module for buyers and sellers is free to list, free to search. Smart contracts eliminate bank fees, eliminate credit card fees, secure transactions, and decentralized ledgers provide irrevocable lifetime traceability rather than a PDF document that is shared from seller to buyer each time an asset changes ownership. Starting at 0, 35,000 users registered their email addresses looking to find parts. 5,000 suppliers have uploaded and are advertising over 40 million spare part listings, and 500 repair stations have uploaded and are advertising 2 million repair services, making our database of spare parts and repair capabilities the 5th or 6th largest in the world. Last year, we raised a $50,000 safe, and 40 users gave us their credit card for premium data feeds. MRO Finder averaged 500 searches per day. That's over $1 million a day in prospective repair orders with our MVP. Now, we provide value at no charge to maximize platform scale and maximize network effects. What we do is we monetize with self-service, micro-targeted ads, and we have demand from suppliers, from large OEMs like Thales to advertise on our platform. Now, we also monetize through engine and heavy MRO reservations, affiliate fees from our meta search engine, and premium data feeds. So to date, over 5,500 vendors have onboarded. Trust creates critical mass. Critical mass will lead to industry adoption. FindParts.aero is becoming the trusted gateway to spare parts sourcing, referring users to e-commerce sites or suppliers to complete transactions off the FindParts.aero platform. Our platform scale approach monetizes excess value, dips into the pockets of suppliers that need to spend more targeted marketing dollars to sell more parts, further fueling FindParts.aero's commercial success. Biometric identity verifications, watch list checks, inventory APIs, and DLT records ensure FindParts.aero protects the integrity and protects the traceability of the spare parts aftermarket, saving time, saving money, and saving lives. Thanks for the warm welcome into your startup community, into the BEC community. We've continuing to help us grow our UK aerospace footprint, and I'd like to open it up for questions.
Thank you so much, Brian. We have a question already. So the traction that you mentioned, over what time period did you achieve this? And how do you determine the merit of the parts, especially when they are from different sites?
Okay, two questions. Thank you for asking about the merits. Definitely, we have a lot of literature, a lot of research, and we can dive into whether that inventory has been synced in real time, whether the certifications are on a blockchain, and we use several very creative variables to track that. Regarding the period of time, the first MVP launched in 2013, and the second MVP launched in 2015.
Okay, thank you. And how do you think impact of How do you think impact of COVID will affect your business model?
So in 2001 and 2008, we saw the airline industry take drastic hits and take 12 to 14 months to recover in 2001 and 12 to 14 months to recover in 2008. We believe COVID will be slightly longer, but we believe there's huge opportunity. Unfortunately, lots of people are losing their jobs in this industry, but we see huge opportunity, and the airline industry is, the air travel industry in general, beyond commercial aviation, is just going to be phenomenal as we move forward.
Okay. Can you tell us a bit more about your team?
Sure. So we have 3 advisors. We have a blockchain advisor, we have a machine learning advisor, we have a logistics advisor, and we have me.
Okay. What is your plans for the UK and the wider European region?
The UK market is the second largest aerospace market. There's roughly 1,700 vendors and MROs in the UK market. And now that we have several friends and networks, and we would have been in Birmingham for the last 6 months. We're going to come to London for another program, and we are, we're not sure of the specific plan, but we have roots now in the UK, and we can grow our UK user base better with our UK roots.
Nice. I'm not sure what this question is. So could you explain how, as a parts brokers, scam airlines a bit more?
Yeah, I could. So basically, parts brokers list non-existent inventory. They claim they have parts that they don't have. There's companies that do this full time for a living that don't have parts, and if you call them to ask for the parts, they'll say, "Oh, okay, let me check the storeroom and I'll get back to you with a quote." And then they don't have a storeroom. They make several calls to suppliers, and it just becomes a broker train of people that don't have stock marking parts up.
Okay. Okay. I think, is there any more questions? We answered this one about the plans of expanding in the UK. Any more questions, guys? I've noticed there was a couple of questions in the chat for Hazel. If you guys send them into the question bit, it's going to be easier to answer. Any plan for the emerging markets?
Yes, actually, from the start, our focus has always been on the emerging markets, and just like John is focused on the emerging artists, actually, we're not here to service the top 20 airlines in the world. We're here to service the 6,800 other aircraft operators that don't get the attention of the leading aircraft operators.
Nice. And the last question, how do you validate the parts and the sellers are legit?
Another great question about, it ties into the same question with how we rank merits per parts. We have experience in the industry. It's a small industry. Vendors know vendors. And we also use lots of data fields that we can draw, and lots of and we also kind of use our secret sauce, which is knowing people and references and understanding the existing players in the market and having relationships.
Thank you. There's a couple more questions. Dan's going to pass them through to you later on. And guys, again, and after this, we're going to be joining. Each startup is going to have a table, and you can sit with them and ask all the questions. Just being aware of time so we can get to listen to everyone. Thank you so much, Brian. Great presentation.